Am I the only one that asks questions when I study the Bible? Because I think that's what biblical meditation is. Let me show you what I mean. Matthew 10:28, Jesus talking to the apostles, sending them out. He says, "Don't fear those who kill the body, but can't kill the soul." So I might want to consider, hey, what is the clear distinction Jesus is making between the body and soul, and the soul being killed or body being killed versus the soul being killed? Why is one more, I guess, threatening and intense than the other? Rather, fear him who can destroy both soul and body in hell. Now, if I'm a new believer, right, I might want to know, okay, who is the him that has the power and authority to do that? What does it mean for the soul and body to be destroyed in hell? What is this place known as hell? Which, if you know in the Greek, Gehenna. What is this place in that culture? What was it known as? What was the kind of the overall vibe of that place? And how is this being used by Jesus to reinforce this idea of not fearing people and all the violence they'll bring against the people of God? Aren't two sparrows sold for a penny? Pause. Why in the world are we talking about sparrows all of a sudden after saying, like, people probably gonna kill you, but don't worry, they can't kill your soul and body, so fear God. And also, what does it mean to fear God? Biblically, especially in the Old Testament, what is the concept of fear? I think it's reverence and awe and respect and adoration and that kind of holy trepidation. But how does that fit the context here relating to sparrows being sold for a penny? All right, I think Jesus will explain. Not one of them will fall to the ground apart from your Father. In other words, these sparrows, all of their lives are in the hands of your Father. In the same way, if He cares for birds and has their, lifespan all mapped out, how much more will He care for you? But even the hairs of your head are all numbered. And it's like, why is that a comforting thought when I'm being sent out as sheep among wolves? Because apparently, God cares to number the things that I'll be honest, I don't know anyone that's ever numbered the hairs on their head or cared about themselves to that level, but God does as our Father. So if that's the kind of care and love and precision, right, that God has in His attention to us, then how does that affect the apostles' fears as they're facing violence and aggression? Fear not, therefore you are of more value than many sparrows. Okay, so this answers our question about why Jesus brought up sparrows. He's reinforcing the idea that disciples have nothing to fear because people, the children of God, are more valuable to God than sparrows. And if He shows that kind of care, right, to watch over them, how much more will He watch over His children? So we'll jump into verse 32 in the next video.